for future viewing. It will assist the conduct of the business if participants speak when invited. All participants should mute their microphones and turn off the video feed when they are not speaking. And members of the public are welcome to view the proceedings, but should not make contributions at this meeting unless invited to do so. Can members please remember to unmute your microphone and switch on your video feed when it's your turn to speak. Speak clearly and slowly into your microphone. Anyone wishing to speak should indicate using the raise your hand button, and I will invite people to speak at the appropriate time. The raise your hand icon should also be used for assent should voting be required. As for everyone's patience for the use of the technology, I apologise in advance if we experience any unforeseen difficulties, which we shall try to resolve expediently. Right, hopefully we don't have to say that for much longer, and before long we can actually have meetings in person. Let's hope so. Right then, moving on, colleagues, to agenda item 2, any apologies for absence?
Yes, we have Councillor Phipps, Bayton and Ali.
Okay, thank you, Manjit.
And also Councillor Barnett, please, Leader.
Okay. Thank you, Judy. And number 3, to receive any declarations of interest under the Members' Code of Conduct. Shouldn't be any on this one.
There are none noted, Leader.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. And number 4, to confirm and sign the minutes of the meeting held on the 15th of March 2021 as a correct record. Take that as a yes. Okay,
yes, Leader, that's great.
Thank you, David. And number 5, the regeneration of Portersfield site. Who's introducing it? Is it Kevin or is it Helen?
It's brought in my name, Leader.
Okay.
I think Jim is on the call as the substantive author. So it'll be Helen and Jim.
Okay, then thank you. Right then, off you go. Do you want to introduce the report?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Members will recall that indeed the minutes there tonight from the Cabinet meeting on the 15th of March that we brought forward proposals to support the development of the Portersfield site. At that time, we'd also been requested to consider entering into a joint planning application with Avon Dudley and also supporting the cost of preparing and submitting that planning application. We felt it was appropriate to take external advice to determine our competence to do that. And we've been doing that over the past couple of weeks so that we're in a position to bring a paper to the special cabinet this evening. The advice that we've received is that it's both competent for the council to enter into a joint planning application, and that there's a summary of the barrister's findings in the body of the background section of the report. And he also determined that it's competent for us to fund the costs of the planning application by supporting Avon Dudley to that end. And therefore the recommendation tonight is that to further the development and the delivery of the development of the Portersfield site, that the Cabinet agrees to promote a joint planning application with Avon Dudley Limited for the development of the Portersfield site, and that the Cabinet recommends that Council agrees to fund the preparation of submission of the planning application at an estimated cost of £420,000.
Okay, thank you, Joe. I don't know if you've finished there, but you seem to have froze. I'll take it that you've concluded. I think we get the gist of the report and the recommendations. Are there any comments, observations from officers, cabinet members or shadow cabinet members? I have one from Councillor Lees Angus.
Yeah, thank you, Leader. Just a quick one sprung to mind. With the 420,000 spent, if we get the go ahead on the project, if we move ahead with the project, can we capitalise that?
I think the answer to that, Ian, is as Angus has set out in the advice and the finance section. I mean, if Rachel's in the room, she might want to comment on that. But so either the costs can potentially be included, or they may, if it doesn't proceed, be aborted?
Yes, through you, Chair. Yes, they can be capitalised.
Okay.
If it goes
Right.
ahead. Yeah.
So if we get the project, then it's part of the project cost. Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Angus. Any other comments or observations? Okay, Councillor Clark.
Yeah, thank you, Leader. It was just a very quick one, Jim. Could you tell me, if we are paying for this planning permission, if for any reason we don't go ahead and do this with Avonbury, that planning permission stays as in the ownership of Dudley Council? Is that correct?
Can I look to Helen to advise on that, please?
Of course. Through you, Chair. Planning permissions all run with the land. There are occasions where you can have what we term personal permissions, but they are exceptional and they rarely happen. So in this instance, it would run with the land. I think the only implication would be if we needed to submit an amended planning application, and within 12 months on the same red line boundary and the same general site and description, you get what we term as a free go. You can only have that free go if you are the applicant. So in that respect, being a joint applicant potentially part protects us from that, but the permission will run with the land. So in that respect, it doesn't matter moving forward who the partners are.
Okay, so we are protected then by the fact that we are the people applying for that planning permission.
It affords us some protections in terms of the free go and the resubmission, but it doesn't affect the planning permission because that is linked to the land irrespective of applicant. But obviously it gives us a degree of influence and control over schemes.
Right. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Councillor Kettle.
Thanks, Pat. As Pat has already alluded to, the fact that we own half the land and we're putting up the money for the planning permission, we want to get this moving forward as soon as possible, obviously, so the synchronisation of the development of the town comes together. And I'm delighted, Pat, you've come along with this suggestion, and there's nothing to stop it going to or the application going in as they've stated on April the 12th, which will be very helpful. So I agree with this going forward, and thanks for bringing it forward, Pat.
Okay, thank you very much, Ian. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the other questions. There are no other hands up. My observations are this does offer us a certain degree of protection. We own quite a lot of the land for this potential development, probably all just under 50%. I think by the time we've completed the compulsory purchase arrangements, we would probably be in excess of 50%. So this gives us protection. It gives us, more or less ownership of what that development will be. I see no other hands. Therefore, the recommendations are that Cabinet agreed to promote a joint planning application with Avonbury Dudley Limited for the development of the Portersfield site, and that Cabinet recommends that Council agrees to fund the preparation and submission of the planning application at a cost of £420,000. Is that agreed?
Aye.
Yes, Leader.
Okay. Thank you very much, colleague. Yes. Agenda item 6 is to report on any issues arising from scrutiny.
There are none, Leader.
Thank you, Manjit. And finally, agenda item 7 to consider any questions from members to the Leader where 2 clear days notice have been given to the monitoring officer as per Cabinet Procedure Rule 2.5.
None, Leader. Okay,
again, thank you, Manjit. Therefore, there is no other business, so therefore that concludes tonight's meeting. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Hang on, just one in the conversation. Let me get that. Oh, and the same to you, Kevin. May we wish also everyone a very peaceful and happy Easter, and I'll say happy Easter to all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks. Happy Easter.
Yeah, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you. From the photographs.